Hello everybody, welcome back to Unimonks. Hello everybody, welcome back. Join हो रहे हैं, धीरे धीरे सब आ रहे हैं. Zion I see, Angela I see. Hello. Okay, good morning. Hello, welcome back. चलो चालू कर ही लेते हैं. Time नहीं waste करते. Let's not waste any more time. I have students from all parts of the country, so I'm going to stick to English as my language. Okay? Alright. As my mode of delivering the class. Yeah. Okay? गाड़ी निकल रही है सामने से. Mic is catching everything. Alright, let's start. Okay? Hello everybody, welcome back to Unimonks. My name is Padmajali Chauhan. I'll be teaching you for the CUET History Domain. Today we're going to continue with our chapter on the Vijayanagara Empire, which is the 7th unit of your syllabus for CUET. Today we're going to start talking about the urban core. Questions can keep coming. I will keep looking up. I will keep looking at the screen, seeing your questions. Introductions are not ending. Hello everybody, we started class. Alright, let's continue. Okay, so the urban core. When archaeologists reached Vijayanagar, they started excavating. There was little evidence found of houses of the ordinary people. Sorry, my thing was on eraser. Houses of ordinary people. Alright, but there was evidence of fine porcelain, fine Chinese porcelain found in some of the areas. Okay, this led archaeologists to believe that rich traders lived here. Now, why does the question of traders come into question? Is because Chinese porcelain is not a good that is produced in India, right? Someone had to go to China to get this, right? And obviously this is going to cost a lot of money, right? So therefore, the question of the answer or the assumption of rich traders comes into the answer, okay, or comes into the question. Okay. So now someone is asking me a wonderful question. We are on the fourth lecture for this chapter, guys. Someone's asking me, are Hampi and Vijayanagar the same place? Mera boot, I wear a 6 size boot, okay. Imprint will go through your screen onto your face, okay. I've repeated this like 4 times already, guys. Hampi and Vijayanagar are the same place, okay. Vijayanagar was the name of the entire empire, but it is also regarded as Hampi, alright. Same place, okay. Just like Harappan civilization and Indus Valley civilization are the same thing, Vijayanagar and Hampi are the same thing, okay. Alright, none of the stupidity I will handle anymore in class, okay. Let's continue. It was also, the urban core was also had a Muslim residential area, okay. Now, I've talked about this in the previous lecture as well, in the previous class as well. Architecture of the tombs and mosques of this area resembled that of the mandapas of the Hindu tradition, okay. I've talked about how interaction between the Hindu culture and the Islamic culture led to a sort of amalgamation, right, between the two styles of architecture, the styles of art, and therefore you see that mosques and tombs have the same style of architecture. Alright, now in the 16th century, traveler Barbosa, people who are on live with me are going to tell me, when did I talk about Barbosa? Who is going to tell me? Zion, Angela, you are my regulars, right? One of you tell me, when did I talk about, what chapter did I refer to while talking about Barbosa? What chapter am I talking about over here? Chalo, come on. Right, absolutely correct. When I was talking about the Francois Bernier chapter, yes, when I was talking about the Travelers chapter, which is the first chapter of this book, I told you about certain European travelers who came before Francois Bernier. Barbosa was one of them. He's a Portuguese traveler. Okay? Now, Barbosa, when he visited the Vijayanagara Empire, he said that the houses were arranged according to occupation in one line. Okay? Now, this is a road, okay? Houses are placed like this. They're all in one line with open spaces sort of between them. Now, according to occupation, we don't know exactly what occupation he's talking about here. Okay, there's no such explanation given in your NCERT either. But let's just assume कि this, let's say this is for the blacksmiths, here the goldsmiths lived, ऐसे करके, ठीक है? Traders and artisans and everybody's there. Basically everybody, the structure of the houses, how they were placed, okay, the planning of the houses was very similar. Alright, in one line with open spaces between them. Alright, okay, moving on. Now, the urban core was located in the southwestern part of the settlement. This I talked about. I showed you a map about the settlement, how the Vijayanagara Empire was organized in the previous class. Okay? Previous class, I showed you a map where I showed you where exactly the sacred center was, where the urban core was, where the royal center was. Okay? So, go back to that class, look at that map, come back here to understand what I'm talking about when I say the southwestern part of the settlement. Okay? It had over 60 temples inside. Now, the urban core was by no means the sacred center, but it also had small temples, over 60 of them inside the settlement itself. Okay? Because one thing you need to realize, it's not like Delhi. Okay? It's not like you're going from Munirka to say CR Park. Okay? It is much farther, especially because this time you didn't have metro. Okay? You did not have cars. You did not even have cycles at that point to reach you, to help you reach from one place to another. Now the sacred center, let's say, is here. The urban core is here. Okay? Reaching from point A to point B takes a lot of time, and therefore that is why temples were inside the urban core as well. Okay? Now, rulers tried to establish power because rulers were trying to establish power, they patronaged temples. Okay? This is important because it gave rulers a sort of connectivity to divine. Okay? Ki Bhagwan chahta hai. The gods want me to be your ruler. Okay? It gives them a divine status. Always remember this. Divine status they get when they sort of patron temples. Okay? When they patron the buildings of temples. Okay? And this establishes their power, it lays down a foundation, it makes people, the general public, it makes them, it makes kings seem like very powerful beings in front of them. Okay? Alright. Now, there were 30 building complexes inside the urban core identified as palaces. What sort of palaces? Why palaces? What was done in these palaces? Who lived here? Okay, none of those questions have been answered. They've just been named as palaces. Okay, the temples were made of masonry. That means cement, mortar, bricks, not bricks, but stone, rock, proper architectural style. Artisans carved that rock. Okay, it was made with dedication. Okay, but other buildings, secular buildings, were made of perishable material. So let's say wood. Okay, that is why you see that the temples are still standing, whereas the secular buildings have perished over time. Okay, samajh mein aa gayi? Any questions? Anybody? Do you want me to stop for a little bit? Answer any questions? What do I mean by masonry over here? Masonry, as I said, were you not listening? Masonry means that they were made using cement, mortar, bricks, stone, okay, made out of proper non-perishable materials, okay, and it was very beautifully carved. We'll talk about this in further videos, in further classes as well, okay? Alright. Now, the names assigned to structures was based on their form and functions, okay? This I will give you a little activity. I hope you all have your NCERT textbooks with you. Open them, okay? Open your NCERT textbooks. What do I mean over here by forms and functions? You are going to tell me on this chat keep those answers coming. I will read through them, okay? But till then, let's move on, okay? The King's Palace, a building called the King's Palace, was the largest enclosure in the area. And the funny thing about this actually is that there is no evidence per se that it was royal residence, okay? There's no evidence that really says that the royal family or the king and his wife and kids lived here. It's just called the King's Palace for the sake of calling it King's Palace. ठीक है? Okay. सुबह में एक बार चेक कर सब सही चल रहे हैं? हाँ ठीक है. मेरी स्क्रीन ब्लैंक हो गई थी. Sorry. All right. Okay, now let's talk about the Mahanavami Dibba. The Mahanavami Dibba, you must have, if you know anything about the Vijayanagara Empire, if you've ever gone on family vacations, I'm assuming you're history enthusiasts, right? You like going to these old crumbling buildings. So if you've ever gone and visited Hampi, you must have seen this magnificent platform-style building called the Mahanavami Dibba, okay? It was also called the Audience Hall, okay? In English, it is called the Audience Hall. In Hindi, it is known as the Mahanavami Dibba. Now, before I start talking about and giving you details about the Mahanavami Dibba, let's talk a little bit about the Unimonks app, okay? This is the QR code you need to scan to download the app. So, everybody who's watching, if we're going to share this clip on YouTube, right? If you're watching this on YouTube and you're wondering what these students I'm talking about who are Zion and Angela, why do I love them so much? It's because they've joined us through our application. Okay? So, scan this QR code, download the Unimonks CUET app. On this app, you will be able to be like Zion and Angela, have live chats with me, okay? You will be able to have live chats with your mentor. I will give you classes through this, okay? You will be able to ask me any CUET related doubts, any domain subject related doubts, okay? Apart from that, on this app, we will also give you organized study material, the best of the best resources to prepare you for CUET 2024. Apart from this, online tests and assignments are a given, right? If we're giving you study material, obviously we're going to give you tests and assignments to prepare you the best we can for CUET 2024, okay? So be like Angela and Zion and Savitri and Arnav and download this app, okay? And start joining the live classes, okay? So that you can also, like them, interact with me, ask your doubts and do not have to wait for YouTube comments to come your way 4 days later, okay? Chalo. Now let's start talking about the Mahanavami Dibba. Okay, so the Mahanavami Dibba, the entire complex, this is what it looks like. This is what people are walking up to it. It is a huge platform. Okay, the entire complex, this complex of the Dibba was surrounded by high walls and a street running between them. Okay, so high walls and a street running between them. Okay, now, it is a high platform with slots for wooden pillars at regular intervals. So this, let's say this is the platform, it's got slots for pillars, wooden pillars. Now we know it's wooden pillars because there's a gaddha there, there's a little sort of like crevice there, but nothing inside that crevice, okay? So archaeologists have assumed that there were wooden pillars standing here, okay? So wooden pillars in these little slots, okay? Now, there is very little space between these slots and therefore the purpose of this hall sort of remains unclear, right? Like this upper area, the purpose of this upper area sort of remains unclear, okay? Now, this building was located at the highest point of the city, okay? Its size is 10,000 square feet base. So this part is 10,000 square feet with the height being 40 feet. That's why you look at these people, they look like tiny little minions. Okay? Tiny little ants walking up the thing. Okay? Now, the base of the platform is covered with relief carvings. If I can show you here, let me just erase this part. if you can see this over here, right here, there's little drawings, right? So it's got carvings of all sorts. So there's like little horses made on it with men riding those horses and elephants and this, that and whatnot. So multiple relief carvings are made on the walls of the Mahanavami Dibba. Okay, sort of depicting a scene, this and that. Some say it's depicting a scene from the Ramayana, but who knows, right? Okay, the base of the platform, okay, is covered with relief carvings. Rituals that were performed at the Mahanavami Dibba coincided and therefore are associated with Mahanavami. Now, what is the Mahanavami? It is the great 9th day of the 10-day Hindu festival of Dussehra, Navratri, Durga Puja, whatever you call it. Okay? The 9th day of the 10-day Hindu festival. Now, kings use this occasion because a lot of ceremonies were performed here, right? During this time. A lot of, let's say, grandiose, okay, to show that the empire is empire of grand kings and rich kings and powerful kings. Therefore, because of these ceremonies, kings displayed their power, prestige and suzerainty on this occasion, okay? To show the ordinary people that they are powerful, that they have prestige, okay? Now, ceremonies that I was talking about previously, ceremonies like image worship, worship of the state horse, and sacrifices of buffaloes, etc., etc., were performed during the celebration of Mahanavami. Okay? Ritual presentations for the kings and the chief guest, whoever that may have been. Any questions? I see something. Are you answering the question I asked? What did I ask previously? I forgot also, sorry. Double walls? No, not this. Oh yeah, forms and functions. Okay. Based on form and function. Right, you're correct. Okay, not bad. Function. Yes, okay. So names of the structures, as I said, were assigned to structures. Names were assigned to structures based on their form and function. So they're saying based on whether they were sacred or secular places, okay? Based on assumptions about what ceremonies were performed here. So you are correct. Very good. Not bad, not bad. Zion, not bad at all. Very good. You are learning. Okay. Sorry. Right. Now, ritual presentations were held over here for the king and the chief guests, okay, of the king. And these presentations were done by the Nayakas and the subordinate kings. We've talked about the Nayakas, and we've talked about subordinate kings as well, okay. So, the local Rayas and the Nayakas, the military chiefs, okay, to impress their lordship. They did all sorts of rituals and presentations and this, that and whatnot. Okay. On this occasion, the kings inspected his personal army and the armies of the Nayakas as well. Okay. And also the Nayakas brought tributes and gifts and this, that and whatnot. Anything to, let's say, impress his lordship. Okay. Everybody wants to be someone's favorite, right? Oh my god, okay, that's it. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Especially you guys on the app. Thank you so much. Motivate these other people that are probably watching this through YouTube, right? YouTube, to join the application, okay? To download the app and become one of you all, right? Because y'all are having fun, right? Say you're having fun. I don't care, okay? Alright, be like them. Join the app. Download the app. If you're watching this on YouTube, give this video a big thumbs up so that more and more people watch this, so that more and more people get introduced to me, so that I can shame them into studying history and passing CUET 2024 with flying colors, okay? Comment down below if you had any questions, because, see, they asked their questions. I answered their questions. Now you will have to comment, okay? And for more such informational content, subscribe to Unimonks. Thank you for watching. Bye.